morning, Emerald and Green. It's our last lesson for English before we have a nice break, and hopefully it will be a bit snowy out there, ready for your little bit of half term. That would be nice, wouldn't it? And so we're going to be looking at a book today. It's another David Walliams, and we're recognising that humour and laughter and that's, you know, that sense of fun in a book has a special purpose for readers. Okay, so the starter today is a spelling. It's more maths words for you. So if you haven't got the starter in front of you, you can pause the video and you can write the spellings down, and we'll copy them out. We'll do your look, cover, write, check, and you know, repeat for these words, so that you you get those spelling patterns. The bit that's, you know, the little section of it usually that's a bit tricky, you can practice that, and you can underline that part of the word as well, because that always just helps you remember. Okay, so the words are centre, century, minute, opposite, and quarter. And that quarter is a very often spelt incorrectly when we come to doing maths, and it's Q-U-A-R-T-E-R. And when we come to doing our maths next term, we're going to be using that one because we're going to be meeting time. Okay, and you can have it as quarter to, quarter past. Also, it comes into fractions too. Okay, so if you've done those, you're ready to move on. And here we've got the spellings, more spellings for the call this morning. We've got the same thing: look, say, write. No, that's the wrong way around. Look, say, read, cover, write, and check. I always like you to say the words as well out loud, because it can help that stick into your, you know, the spellings. You make a link then with your brain from spellings to the sound of the word as well. So we've got my, we, they, friend, and friend is a commonly misspelled word. Actually, it's a year 1 spelling, and it's, I always used to think when I was little, you have to fry your end, you fri, and then you've got an end. Okay, you must always think you've got an END in that word. Okay, so green and emerald classes, we have Zeus sitting in front of us today, and he is impressed. Green and emerald classes, your Pandora star boxes are inspiring, hopeful, and positive. Zeus is very impressed. Well done, you have pleased the ancient Greek gods. So that's a brilliant news, isn't it? So today we're going to be looking at some quotes from a lady called Katie Birchall, and she is an author of children's books. She writes books for teenagers, and she has she talks really nicely and really sensibly about why humour and fun and comedy is really important in a book and in our life. Actually, comedy is important, she says. In fact, it's essential. That means you can't go without it. It can be a welcome escape from the chaos of the world, an opportunity to have a good laugh and feel better. When we're laughing and we're playing, we're having fun and using humour with you know, in our lives, it excuse me, it does lift your sense of well-being. It makes you feel, it has a feel-good factor going on. She says it's a survival tactic, gently helping us to get through tough times when we're not sure we can. So it's a way of surviving. She thinks it's, you know, it's essential to life and living, and without it, it's hard to survive. It helps you getting through those tough moments. It also has a thing about bringing other people together with each other. So she says it creates connections. Laughing together brings a bond. It helps bring us closer to other people. It's key to human togetherness. So it is an essential thing. And I think what she says there is absolutely right. And I do think that, you know, when my children were quite little, that a book, especially a book, there was something quite sort of almost, you could feel that feeling of togetherness when you laughed at the same thing, and it really pulls you together. And we've, as a family, we've shared a lot of good fun books, and even now when we've got we're quite booky around about Christmas. Actually, we tend to really focus in on having that downtime and reading quite a lot. And even then, when we're reading books and we buy new books at Christmas, we have a sort of like a habit. It's a good habit of telling people, you know, explaining and reading sections of the books that are funny to each other, and it's really nice. It does bring us, you know, quite nicely together. We laugh about the same things. So, is there a section in a book that you've read that always makes you smile or laugh? Okay, is there a bit that you go to? Oh, I know that's a funny book. That always is a good one. One of ours, actually, as a family, is this book, and my children love this book, and it's not a very well known book. It's called Bella and Gertie, the world famous private detectives, and there's just something rather lovely about this book. And they are, although you think they're world famous, they're slightly silly. They're silly characters, and you know, it's quite evident who the guilty person is, who the villain is in here. Yet they really sort of like slightly struggle to get it, and it always made us laugh, that book. And there's a picture at the end where they're having like a tea party, and yes, and when they're sleeping as well, and they've all got these matching little they've got like little matching blankets on, and it's very, very sweet, all the different animals, and it always made us laugh and enjoy. What's your favourite funny book? And probably as a family, that's one of ours. Have you ever read a joke book? I do have quite a good joke book here. I'm not sure if I've got it up here. I've taken it downstairs, I think. And as a family, we quite like a joke book. We like jokes at Christmas with the crackers. I keep going on about Christmas today. It's a bit wild, isn't it? Let's share a fun book together. And after reading, can you write a book review of a funny book? Now, it doesn't have to be the funny book that we're reading today. It can be any book that you find funny, okay? But I want you to have read it today, not just to think, oh, I know the funniest book. I read it, and I read it ages ago. I want you to actually have the book and really hone in on that book. Just don't use one that you think, oh, that's a funny one, I'll just do that. Read it. You need to read it today. So you're going to create a book review on a book that's got humour and got comedy in it that you've shared today. So you need to read it today. So you've got the book title, the book author, and for this one it's David Williams, and it's called The Queen's Orang-Utan. I love the way that this is spelt as well. I always thought it was one word, but it's not. It's hyphenated, and it's like orange but without the E in it. Orang-Utan. And then you're going to put your name in the review bit. You can give it a star rating up to 5 stars, and you describe what happens in the book. Ooh, what's this one? Oh, yeah, at the bottom, I might need to make that a little bit clearer actually, or I'll just say it, to be honest with you. And it says, Mrs. Lard's book reading video today was with permission of HarperCollins, HarperCollins Children's Books, and by permission of the author, which is David Williams. Okay, so you're then going to write the important characters in the book, the favourite part in the book, what you like or don't like about the book, and if there's nothing you dislike about it, you can put in, I don't think there's anything I dislike about it. Draw a cover, a cover of the picture, a picture of the cover, a scene or a character, and who would you recommend this book to? Okay, so that is it for us now, and I just want you today, at some stage, to find a book you enjoy. Find a calm and quiet place, get settled down, snuggle up for a lovely long read. Go and escape to a book.